So if you're a chicken owner, you've definitely had an experience similar to this if you've had them outside for more than a couple weeks. So you walk into the coop at night to go count them, and you realize something's off. You just feel it. You walk into that coop, and you're like, man, something just happened here that I have no clue. So you count the chickens, you're like, oh, we're missing one of them. So you go search around, and then you inevitably find a pile of feathers. And then you're like, well, you can't really say what it is because it's kind of upsetting, but you're wondering what could have possibly got to it. Well, today I'm going to be talking about what remnants these types of animals will leave. Keep in mind, this is not going to be like a crazy video where I'm going to show you images or anything. I'm just going to describe it, and I'm going to use some horrible stock images. So let's get into it, guys. So foxes are one of, if not the most common chicken predators you'll ever find. They are quite possibly one of the most annoying pieces of living dog crap I think that you could possibly find out there. But, of course, there are some positives to having foxes, like they do keep the local population of, like, rabbits down. They're really good for that, and if you have a garden, oh yeah, you might be saying, yo, thank you for that. But then comes alongside them thinking your chickens are also part of the local wildlife population. Even if they knew that the chickens were yours, they'd still attack them because they don't really know any better than to keep attacking chickens. And for one specific reason, it's free food. So generally, you won't really find a lot. Maybe if a chicken decides it wants to fight, if the fox decides to grab it in a horrible position, which, yeah, some foxes are complete and utter idiots and will do that, you'll find some feather remains. Most of the time, these attacks are quite one-off and are generally to blame if, like, your chickens are just, like, all of a sudden, like, disappearing with no explanation. Usually you'll find just a couple feathers if there's a massive, like, wipeout, but if there's, like, just a couple chickens, like, if there's just, like, one chicken missing with no feathers, it could possibly be something else, or even a fox, because they usually don't leave too many feathers. They're pretty good at covering up the track. Ah yes, coyotes, one of the most annoying animals that you could possibly find. They're like wannabe wolves, but they can't be, because they're too small, except for the ones here in the Northeast. Oh boy. We have a 90-pound coyote, and I'm starting to wonder if maybe they let some wolves into northwestern Connecticut. I doubt they did, but, you know, it's entirely possible. I wouldn't be surprised, to be honest, but, of course, when they come with the whole gang, you know? Either that, or they come by themselves. Like, they just come down from the forest, all by themselves, and the worst part about it is it's extremely unpredictable. However, when they come down, they will sometimes either make themselves known or be the stealthiest little things you've ever seen. When they come down, usually you'll notice the fence is trampled. Either, if you have like a small, like, portable fence, they'll knock that stuff right down, so that way they have an easy way in and out. You'll notice there is some chickens left and others are not. So if you have a massive attack, like let's just say you have 12 chickens, and there's only like 6 of them remaining, you might find the bodies of somewhere between 40 and 70% of them, only because the coyote is coming back later to go finish them off. So if you find that, put your chickens away immediately, move them, and at the same time, go and get a shotgun and go out into the woods and go find it, because that's the only way they'll ever stop coming, because they found a free source of food. Now, believe it or not, hawks are one of the leading causes towards having chickens being killed by animals. And I'll tell you one thing, hawks are, of course, one of the most annoying ones as well, because most of them are legally protected, so you can't go out there and do legal self-defense against them. Unlike with coyotes and foxes, like those are the ones that you're completely in the right for doing that. But with hawks, oh no, if you do that, you're gonna be put through an entire legal trial and sentenced to life in prison with no parole, because that's just how it works. But there are some things you could do that won't directly harm it, that'll get rid of it. I'll tell you one thing, when they attack your chickens, they attack them. They make sounds and everything. They're like, oh, come here, I'm the one that attacked your chickens, bro. Come here. Let me teach you something. I was the one who attacked the chickens. They make themselves known. It's so simple. I have no clue why they're stupid, but, like, you know, it's also crazy to think that they want to make themselves as known as possible at the same time. Usually, they just kill the chicken on spot, and they can't really do a lot with it, so they just leave it there. Maybe some parts have been removed for obvious reasons, but other than that, if you get to it fast enough, you're gonna have maybe like 98% of the chicken remaining, like with Lovey, except that was more like 85%. They usually leave a lot of stuff behind because they're lazy slobs. But what you can do is you can go to the store and buy a massive Bluetooth JBL speaker, bring that to the yard, blast the loudest rap music known to mankind, and there you go. You got yourself a solution that is low cost and affordable. And on top of that, you may or may not risk getting a couple bricks thrown through your window as an added bonus, just to sell you, hey, you're getting rid of that hawk, man. Congratulations. Now, bobcat attacks were the staple of the winter of 2023, on top of having literally zero snow accumulation. But they were also a pretty big deal back in the fall of 2023 as well, but they weren't really as big of a deal. I'm not going to jinx anything, but I really hope they left here. Because, in my state at least, they're illegal to kill. And, you know, that's a pretty big issue, especially if something like that is getting to your chickens every single day. Like, bobcats will come, and when you find your chickens, oh, it's done. It's wraps for your chicken flock. They won't usually take more than one at a time, and they usually come with one at a time. Like, there's usually no more than one bobcat. There was 2 of them last year. I actually saw them one night while the chickens were asleep. I was just chilling outside, you know. I was outside listening to some music, just chilling after a long day of school. It was during the exam periods as well, which is even worse. And I was just out there, and I was literally just praying for a snowstorm for once. And, well, a couple weeks late, well, it took like 6 weeks until we finally got 8 inches of snow, but it happened after a little while. And on top of all else, I saw 2 bobcats sitting out there, 2 of them. One of them was near the chicken yard, and the other one was at the top of the yard. There isn't really a known way to get rid of them, unfortunately, so the best you could really do is just scream at them every time they come to discourage them, which is what I do, which is basically screaming at them and flipping them off every chance I get, because you know me, I love flipping off bobcats, especially when they attempt to kill the chicken. And that pretty much does it for this video. I just want to say I wanted to add like a lot more sections, but as you see from this community post highlighted above, File Explorer wouldn't cooperate, and my video editing software began to lag, so I'm thinking about getting a new computer. I was wondering if you guys could help me run the playlist. There's a playlist on screen right now with video essays on it. If you're not really too interested in video essays and just want to see some more farming content, man, be sure to click on my channel, man. A little icon down below or on the comment section, a pinned comment or a response. You'll see my channel there, and I just want to say thank you guys so much for 7,000, almost 8,000 views on a video simply about my chicken's reaction to snow. That's crazy, man. Anyways, I'm out of here. Subscribe.